Om Swastiastu. Thanks for my lecture, Dr. Idewa Gede Ratwipayana Putra, MPD, as a lecturer of seminar on English language teaching. In this occasion, let me introduce myself. My name is Ela Dwiyanti. I'm from English Education Department with students number 21111711038. Thanks for the time that given to me. In this occasion, I will present my result of research proposal with the title Improving Students' Reading Comprehension Through Reciprocal Teaching Strategy, Grade 11 at SMP PGRI 1 Badung. English is important nowadays. As a universal language, English used to communicate around the world. Reading is one of important skill in learning English. When students read the text, the students not only read the text without understanding, but the students need to understanding the text and know the information of the text. Students with poor ability in reading comprehension have difficulty to finding the information that they need and understand the meaning of the text. The researcher found the problem in reading comprehension at SMK PGRI 1 Bandung. PGRI at SMK PGRI 1 Bandung, based on the interview and the observation conducted. The students' reading comprehension is at the low level. To prove it, the researcher conducts a preliminary test carried out on 6 January 2025 in a class 11-1, with total student are 30 students. The results show on the table in the table on the screens. There is from the test, the research found that only 6 students could pass the KKM and 24 of students didn't pass KKM. Based on the table, only some students could pass the KKM, while the KKM is a 75. Based on the preliminary research, the researcher found that students were challenged to find specific information, main idea, reference, and some students still had a difficult to understanding the meaning of the vocabulary on the text. Previous study also find a similar problem, and many strategy and method are ready to use to improve students' reading comprehension. The first study conducted by Agustin et al. 2023 and Asmi et al. 2020. Research using skimming and scanning learning methods show these are methods have significant influence and can help students in improving their understanding of reading comprehension. And the research conducted by Soleh et al. 2020 using KWL strategy to improve student reading comprehension show the result in the post-test in the first cycle. The average of the students' score was 91, and the average score before applying KWL strategy was 70. It can be said that this strategy can improve students' reading comprehension. And for the last study conducted by Gunawan and Ratna 2020, a study using reciprocal teaching strategy to research students' motivation said this strategy could increase students' motivation and reading comprehension. This strategy is supported by several research that show the reciprocal teaching strategy has been proven to help students with reading problem using the widely researched method. Based on the previous study before, the researchers decide to use the reciprocal teaching strategy to improve students and help the students' reading comprehension problems at SMK PGRI 1 Badung. And this study is similar to the study conducted by Parameswara to solve the reading problem, the reading comprehension at SMK and 9 Bandar Lampung. For the novelty of this study have a different from the previous study is the place of the study. And this novelty is belong to the new context. And for the research question in this study is what is the best implementation of the reciprocal teaching strategy in improving reading comprehension grade 11 PGRI 1 Badung. I'm sorry, SMK PGRI 1 Badung. Reading comprehension is a process of reading activity, understanding the meaning, and finding the information of the text. In reading, the comprehension process consists of the recognized word, comprehension, their meaning, including vocabulary, text, and grammar. Based on the preliminary study, show that the problem in students' reading comprehension faced by 11.1 students are identify specific information, analyze an idea, vocabulary, and reference. From similar study, in previous study, the researcher found the solution to solve the problem is the reciprocal teaching strategy. The strategy using reciprocal teaching strategy conducted by Islam 2020 entitled Implementing Reciprocal Teaching Method in Improving Students' Reading Comprehension Ability. This study using core design and show this strategy can improve students' reading comprehension. And the research by Sihite 2022 entitled The Effect of Reciprocal Teaching Method on Students' Reading Comprehension. This study is using experimental study and show the significant effect in improving student reading comprehension use the reciprocal teaching strategy. And for the last study conducted by Parameswara 2022 entitled Reciprocal Teaching Strategy to Improve Students' Learning Activity and Reading Comprehension. Action research. This research using car design showed that this strategy can improve students' reading comprehension, which 85% students in a cycle 2 can pass the minimum criteria. In this study, using reciprocal teaching strategy will be stopped if all the students can pass the KKM. Meanwhile, the KKM is 75 and average score is 80. Based on the previous study, the researcher assumed that this study using a reciprocal teaching strategy can help students improve their reading comprehension in finding specific information, main idea, vocabulary, and reference. The target of this research is an average score of 11 SMK PGRI 1 Badung students is 18, and with all students of this, with all of the students can pass the KKM. In this study using car or classroom action research, which consists of 4 steps, namely planning, action, observation, and reflection. In the action section, we'll be implementing the syntax of the reciprocal teaching strategy to do classroom activity in a teaching reading. This research took SMK PGRI 1 Badung, specifically grade 11.1 class consists of 30 students that have experience in learning English around 10 years. The instrument of this research is a reading test in front of multiple choice, observation checklist, interview guideline, and for the data collection in this research is observation test and interview. And for the data analysis, the target of this research is for all students can achieve a minimum score of KKM and achieve an average score is 18. Therefore, the researcher formula in this research is the first is formula to score students' answer, as we can see on the screen. And the last one is formula to calculating the mean of the students' reading comprehension test. And also the formula can show on the screen. That's all about my research proposal presentation. I want to apologize if there is any mistake with my grammar, speech, pronunciation on the PPT, on my research proposal, and my presentation. I want to do apologize, and again, I want to say thank you for my lecture, Mr. Dewarat. Thank you so much, and I will be close this presentation with Sama Santi. Om Santi 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 Om.